You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, January 2nd, 2026. Happy New Year. I'm Chris Palermo. Here is what's happening. There's been a deadly hit-and-run motor vehicle accident in Laughlin. Police are asking for the public's help to locate one of the drivers involved. Haley Grabby has this report.
Las Vegas police are searching for the driver who fled the scene after a deadly hit-and-run in Laughlin Thursday night. Investigators say a woman was walking along West Casino Drive just after 9 p.m. when she was struck by an unknown vehicle in the dark on a two-lane roadway. That driver did not stop and has not yet been identified. Moments later, a second vehicle hit the woman and did stop to call 911. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene, and the second driver cooperated with police. Authorities are continuing their search for the first vehicle involved and asking anyone with information about the crash to contact authorities.
More news now. The annual Consumer Electronics Show is about to take over Las Vegas. Primarily held at the Convention Center, it will also utilize the Venetian and other venues in town. It's not open to the public and is an industry trade show beginning Tuesday, January 6th. Samantha Roberts has more.
The world's largest consumer technology show is returning to Las Vegas this week. CES 2026 officially gets underway Tuesday, January 6th, bringing tens of thousands of tech leaders, innovators, and visitors from around the globe. The annual event, hosted by the Consumer Technology Association, will take over the Las Vegas Convention Center, the Venetian Expo, and several nearby venues, transforming the city into a showcase of what's next in technology. This year, artificial intelligence is expected to take center stage, with companies focusing less on concepts and more on real-world products. Attendees can expect to see advances in AI-powered computers, smart home technology, robotics, health and fitness devices, and next-generation displays. Major industry players including NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, Qualcomm, Microsoft, Lenovo, and Siemens are all expected to have a presence, along with the thousands of startups debuting new ideas in areas like autonomous transportation, cybersecurity, and wearable technology. CES is a trade-only event, meaning it's open to industry professionals, media, and exhibitors ages 18 and older. Registration is available through the official CES website, and those unable to attend in person can still watch many keynote speeches and announcements online through live streams and news coverage. Organizers expect more than 130,000 attendees and over 4,000 exhibitors throughout the week, making CES one of the largest events Las Vegas hosts each year. CES runs January 6th through the 9th, with major announcements expected from the very first day, offering a glimpse at the technology that could shape 2026 and beyond.
And we've got a lot of coverage planned for that show next week. Many pets escaped from their home during New Year's Eve festivities. They were frightened by the fireworks on and around the Las Vegas Strip. We have a report from some of the local animal rescue groups.
The Animal Rescue Group in Las Vegas, Paws Patrol LV, fielded a very high volume of calls on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day for lost and found pets. The Las Vegas Valley had many dogs frightened by the fireworks and then ran out of their homes this time of the year, and 4th of July are the busiest times of the year for these animal rescue groups. Paws Patrol had responded to a call where a dog ran into the street and was unfortunately hit by a car. The rescue group transported the injured dog to Tropicana Animal Hospital. His leg will require amputation, and they are still trying to locate the owner. Other animal rescue groups like Lost Dogs of Las Vegas saw lots of activity on their social media pages with postings about dogs found and some that were missing after the fireworks. Shelters throughout southern Nevada are full, says the animal rescue groups. There is a huge need for fosters.
Well, parents and families will soon have more school choice in Pahrump. The first ever charter school is planning on opening in August 2026. It's called Pahrump Valley Academy.
A charter school is coming to Pahrump, and it's the first ever. It has been in the making since 2019. The inaugural school year will begin this summer in August 2026. The school is the brainchild of educator Dr. Sable Morandi. The Pahrump Valley Academy Board is made up of 7 members. The Nevada State Public Charter School Authority gave the green light in December 2025. Charter schools are publicly funded but run in a private manner. There are no tuition fees. These schools have their own board of directors and do not fall under the board for the school district in that particular jurisdiction. The Pahrump Valley Times met with several of the board members recently. One of the newest Pahrump Valley Academy board members, Michelle Caird, said, "If you can provide great education options for children, professionals will come live here because then their children will be getting a good education."
Coming up, the home team, the Vegas Golden Knights, are in action today. We'll tell you how they did. Well, Mikey will. Coming up in sports, you're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. The Vegas Golden Knights, we're back at it again with another matinee game today. Today they're in St. Louis. Mikey has that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Vegas Golden Knights and another matinee. Vegas Golden Knights dropping another one, 5-4 today to the St. Louis Blues. Next up for the Golden Knights, they play the Blackhawks in Chicago on Sunday. Big international news for the Knights. Defenseman Noah Hanifin, joined by his teammate Jack Eichel, will be representing the United States in the Winter Olympics next month. Back home, the Henderson Silver Knights are gearing up for a special night as they honor military personnel during Military Appreciation Night. That celebration happens Saturday, January 3rd at 6 p.m. when Henderson takes on the Colorado Eagles at Dollar Loan Center. And if you're showing up early, it pays off, literally. The first 1,500 fans will receive exclusive lucky shillings, and the first 3,000 will take home a Silver Knights wall flag. Pahrump Valley Lady Trojans looked comfortable, maybe a little too comfortable. Arborview had other plans, delivering late-game defensive heroics that turned the momentum completely around in their third exhibition game of the 13th annual Gator Winter Classic. Hosted by Green Valley High School, the Trojans dropped a heartbreaker, falling 42-40 to the Aggies on December 29th. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. Happy New Year. Today's health report has information on how the winter weather could affect your sinuses and impact those prone to migraines.
What the weather does is that sudden change in barometric pressure can change or create what we call a disequilibrium in our sinuses. When you think about our sinuses as cavities full of air, and when there is a disequilibrium, for those who have migraines, that in itself can trigger and create a pathway to one's migraine occurrence.
Along with sudden weather changes, Dr. Estamalik said extreme cold temperatures this time of year can also bring on a migraine for some people. For those sensitive to the cold, staying inside on frigid days can help. If you do need to go outside, make sure to bundle up and cover your head and neck. Dr. Estamalik adds it's important to have your migraine medication on hand in case you start getting symptoms. While we can't control the weather, there are other things migraine sufferers can control.
Sleep, exercise are very important, reducing stress, managing, any psychiatric comorbidities like anxiety or depression, it's also very important.
All righty, Mikey's back, but you got to catch up because he's going on your weekend road trip with the tip.
Looking to get away this weekend, just about an hour away, Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge. Ash Meadows is home to 26 plants and animal species that are found nowhere else in the world. Crystal Spring is known to gush a whopping 2,800 gallons of water per minute. In 1952, the fascinating desert pupfish was discovered within Ash Meadows. As a colorful bonus, spring and fall offer chances at seeing spectacular wildflower blooms. Rains from California's atmospheric rivers and Tropical Storm Hillary have prompted a massive bloom of desert gold wildflowers. There's no true litmus test for what scientists consider a super bloom. Botanists almost unliterally declared last year's bloom in California to be one, but it's uncertain whether this year's qualify. What's peculiar about this bloom is that desert gold wildflowers began to flower as early as November. They say this is a sign of overwintering, where plants brave less water and less warmth. Super bloom or not, the wildflower bloom is spectacular.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's Recycle Your Christmas Tree time.
The Southern Nye County Pahrump Master Gardeners are collecting live-cut holiday pine trees for recycling now through January 22, 2026 at the Extension Campus at 1651 East Calvada. Please add your trees to the pile behind the short gate near the 4-H Little Free Library. Remember to remove all decorations and especially the tinsel. The trees will be chipped by Layton's Tree Service and the mulch will be used around the Extension garden grounds.
Coming up, the first weekend weather forecast from News 25 of 2026. We'll let you know if it's going to rain. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. It's a very special end-of-year classic country breakfast radio show. This week on the Ace Country Radio Network, Mikey shares highlights and recaps 2025 shows.
Howdy. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, I'm celebrating some of 2025's best moments, like when the widow of George Jones called the show, Nancy Jones, or when Dean Dillon explained how he got started writing songs for George Strait, or how about when Richard Sturban from the Oak Ridge Boys called and talked about what Johnny Cash meant to them.
Don't believe there would be an Oak Ridge Boys today if it wasn't for Johnny Cash. You know, Johnny Cash, back in our days before we had hit records, we were kind of struggling. He kind of took us under his wing and made us part of his show. He always paid us more than we were worth. You know, we signed a contract. He always gave us more money than what the contract called for. That was the kind of person he was. But more than the financial help he gave us were his words of encouragement. You know, I remember one time we were playing in Las Vegas with him, and he called us up one day. He said, "Fellas, I want you guys to come to my room. I want to talk to you." So we all went to Johnny Cash's room, and he said, "I can tell your heads are hanging." He said, you're wondering whether or not you're going to have a group. And he was right about that. We had no other dates booked. We didn't know how we were going to keep our group together. So we were kind of at a low point. He said, "But I'll tell you what, I think there's something special about you guys. And if you guys will find a way to stay together," he says, I'm telling you, good things are about to start happening to you guys. He says, "I will help you as much as I can, but it's going to be up to you guys to stay together." And so, to make a long story short, you know, we did manage to stay together. I remember walking out of that room that day, looking at each other, we said, "Wow, if Johnny Cash thinks we are going to make it, we are going to make it." There's no doubt about it. And sure enough, just a few years later, at the Country Music Awards, we won our first award for Vocal Group of the Year. Johnny Cash was hosting the show. And when they announced our name, we ran up on stage. And instead of going to the podium and collecting our award, we went to the podium on the right where he was standing, and we all hugged him. and he said in that big booming voice of his, "See, fellas, I told you so."
It's the best of 2025, Sunday at 8 on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's a Lerner and Rowe weather cam from Ian Deutsch Memorial Park, and the weather watchers are spotting the Calvada herd doing their thing. Did you know that Pahrump is experiencing the wettest winter on record? Will it continue through the weekend? We have your complete forecast in a bit.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
It's your weather forecast from the Anchor Desk. Welcome back. I'm Chris Palermo. Fernley hit 48, low 35, and Fallon was at 49 degrees today. Carson City, 49. They're going down to 36 tonight. Tonopah, 42 and 35 tonight. Goldfield, Mining, 43. Beatty, it is not 80, it is 51. 52 for them tonight. Amargosa, 56. Las Vegas, 57 today, going out at 47. Death Valley, 63, not bad for January, and a low of 52 degrees. Current temperatures, 52, were kind of mild. Your sun rose this morning, 6:55 a.m. Humidity, well, a lot of moisture in the air, 73%. And your wind today, 3 miles an hour, south-southeasterly direction. We had a high temperature of 57 degrees. So we've dropped a few degrees. Like I said, it's raining, 52. And sunset, well, just about an hour ago, 4:40 in the afternoon, and we're at 87% humidity, southeasterly direction. 6 miles an hour on the wind speed tonight. Low, again, still moderate and mild, 44 degrees in Pahrump and in the region. And your forecast is looking like this. Well, we're back into the precipitation tomorrow, 58 degrees, rain. Sunday, we're going to slowly clear out. We've got some clouds, 57. Monday and Tuesday, weather twins. Sun is coming out, 57, 56 on Wednesday, Thursday, 52, 51 on Friday. And, well, you're going to see our low temperatures go down a little bit, 48 for low. And then next week, we're going to go below freezing on your low temperatures. So, again, if you want to cover the outdoor plumbing and all that sort of stuff, that's the best thing to do. Well, we want to wish you a happy new year, 2026. Our first broadcast of the new year. Chris Palermo and the whole staff here at News 25 wishing you a great 2026. Make it a great new year.